back to James Montreal Beer Reviews. Today I decided to review the Stone Smoke Porter from the Stone Brewing Company in Escondido, California, which is in San Diego County. This is a year-round release, but I've heard this is really good, and I got this quite a while back in New York City for about, it wasn't that expensive, it was about $5-6 I think for a bottle like that. This is 5.9% ABV, and generally I like porters, but I wasn't feeling like it, you know, throughout the summer since I was away, and then when I came back it was still kind of warm. But now the weather's more appropriate for these beers. I figured it's finally time to review it. I hope it doesn't say stale or old. There's a huge lengthy description on the back of the bottle, as with most, you know, Stone beers. It's very, it's quite cool and fascinating, but I'm not going to read it all because it's, you know, it's just too much to read really. It describes the beer's color and appearance. It says it's good with barbecue meats and rich desserts, which is really truthful. If this is a good porter, and I'm sure this is going to be good. Quick shout out to Mark from Video Beer Reviews. He's done the video with this beer as part of some recipe he was cooking with it and drinking along. Now my beer glass selection for today is the Samuel Smith's pint glass, and that's about it. Let's get started. Right, so this is sort of a standard cab for Stone. I love them, but I think I've got a couple of these by now. Let's get pouring. This is for sure not my first beer from Stone, in case you haven't seen my other reviews. I've had a fair share of their beers, and I had a couple on tap in New York City. This is giving us too much head. And I've liked pretty much every single one of them. Some impressed me more than others, but some really blew my mind away, like the Stone Sublime and Self-Righteous. That was just fascinating, fantastic. I'll be back in a quick moment. Right guys, I've allowed it to sort of settle down. Now we've got a nice 1 finger thick light caramel head and a very dark brown, you could say blackish kind of brown, you could say reddish brown. Could be very, very deep mahogany color. Let's smell it now. It's not very intense, I guess, has to do with the beer being kind of old, but I'm still getting quite a good, very deep roasted maltiness, some smokiness, but it's sort of in the middle between very smoky and very roasty. I mean, it doesn't smell like a house beer, but it smells more smoky than a typical porter. Notes of caramel, chocolate, very typical, very good. Bit of hops can be sensed as well. A bit of floral base, some caramel, some toffee. It's nice. Smells like a good porter with just a little bit of smokiness added to it. Cheers, guys. From the first sip, I know this is a Stone beer, that's for sure. It's a very thick mouthfeel. It's probably medium to full body. I suppose it has faded out, sort of, you know, to some extent, but it still tastes very good. Very roasted, with a hint of that kind of meaty smokiness character. Very sweet. I mean, it's not pushing the limits of being too sweet, you know, up to the point of being sickly sweet. But this is a sweet beer, and I quite like that. It's got a bit of a creamy texture to it. Definite roasted coffee with chocolate notes. A bit of vanilla. A touch of woodiness. It's quite complex. It's a very complex and then, you know, thick kind of porter, but all the while this is very smooth. There's some bitterness which kind of starts in the middle and carries on into the aftertaste, but you know what, this bitterness is really suppressed by all the other characteristics of the beer, like the creaminess and the roastiness and even the sweetness, really. So far this is a very impressive porter. It didn't smell as impressive, but it sure tastes really good. I'll come back to you in a few moments as usual, but so far this is going to score at least like an 8 from me. This is really good, guys. This is really good, guys. I'm genuinely impressed by smoked porter from Stone. All in all, this is very smooth, easy drinking beer with just enough flavor, with just enough complexity. And mind you, this is quite an old bottle, so if you get this fresh, it's probably going to taste even more impressive, you know. To break it down into categories, first of all, the appearance is going to get a solid 8. There's still some hair, there's still some nice lacing. It's not, you know, super impressive, but it's very solid nevertheless. And it's just, you know, it's just good, very good. As far as the smell goes, probably because this is an old bottle, only 7. It's not that intense. I mean, it's fairly complex of a smell, but this is just not very intense for me. You know, I've smelled more intense smelling porters, I guess. Then the taste is a definite 9. This is very, very tasty beer, guys. Very complex roasted and smoky character. I mean, it's probably 2/3 roasted still and 1/3 smoke. But the smokiness really adds an additional kind of layer to the beer, which is that kind of meaty, very satisfying, at least to me, layer of flavour. And then you get bits of chocolate, but a bit of milk chocolate kind of mixed together and blended in, and maybe a bit of espresso beans, not so much. Just a very, very slight hint of dark fruit, and still some kind of grassy or maybe earthy hops. I mean, this is not bottled, but it's still apparent enough to be, noticed. And then in the back, as I've said before, the bitterness kind of suppressed. The bitterness is quite intense, but it's not really overwhelming because it's, there's other things going on, and it's just really good. Works well together, and it's a very balanced beer. So 9 for taste, 8 and an 8, yeah, definite 8 for mouthfeel and drinkability. It's not too thick. I said it's medium to full body. It's probably closer to medium, but just a little more than that. Pretty much no hint of alcohol. Just a bit of a warming sensation it gives you. Being almost 6%, but it's not gonna get in the way of how it tastes and everything. And then the drinkability, it's one of the better kind of drinking porters I've had, because some porters can be a hassle to drink, and I'm having the whole bomber to myself, no problem at all. This is really good. So overall, this is an 8 out of 10 beer. If this were fresh, I'd probably give it a 9. I'm predicting it probably tastes better fresher, but whatever. It's still a good beer. It's still a good tasting for me. So 8 out of 10 for Stone Smoke Porter. I'm going to sign out here. I'll see you guys next time, but this is really good. Try it out for yourself. Tell me what you think. That's it for this time, guys. See you next time. Bye. Stay